Hi, good night, everybody, or good morning, whenever you're watching it. Salutations. I've got my flower headband on. Woohoo! Yeah, I wore it at my friend's wedding. It's a great night. But I don't really know what I'm gonna say. I never know what I'm gonna say when I do one of these videos. I just kind of hit record and go. So we're gonna go. I want to start off with this. I'm channeling my inner flower girl. Woohoo! But anyway, um, evolution. The one thing that's supposed to separate us from animals is the ability to self reflect. A lot of us don't fucking do it. We don't sit and ask ourselves questions and ponder things and curious. We don't, that curiosity that we're all born with and we have instilled with us. It's just the world like has been taught to tell us that, hey, this is how it is and that's how it's going to be and that's it. I remember sitting in class, like in, I don't know, we'll say 10th grade, my AP biology class. Teacher was fucking brilliant. He's super smart. Um, anyway, and everybody was so amazed. Hey, how do you have a freaking A in the class? And I was like, well, I'm interested in it. Because he was doing all this fucking genetic stuff, and I was really interested in that whole Punnett square and all the genes and stuff like that. It was interesting to me. So I had no problem paying attention to it. But we're sitting in class and he's going over how we have junk DNA. And I was like, what the fuck? I raised my hand. I was like, what do you mean junk DNA? Like, God just gave us junk? He's like, well, we really don't know what it does. And I was like, whoa. That was the pinnacle, I would say, like a turning point. It was like, man, there's so much that we don't know. And so much to discover. When I say discover, I don't mean like, oh, I'm going to make a fucking $1 billion off of selling X, Y, and Z cure, this and this and that. No, I don't mean like that. But it just makes you think and really wonder, have we been lied to about just about everything? I remember sitting in history class. I hated history. We'd sit in history and I'm learning about the same wars over and over again. And I'm like, okay, so memorize this person's name. You need to know this date, this name, this date, this name, this. Know this name. You have to know this man's name. And I'm just like, God, it just seems so redundant. And I remember asking, I was like, hey, so what happened to like Atlantis and all this? Oh, we don't talk about that. It's never been founded. And I was like, fuck you talking about? And all these ruins and ancient ruins and things that shows that they were here. So now you're gonna tell me, oh, it's not real? Okay, sure. I just had this whole thing about school being this big whatever, and I'm just like, man, there's so many questions that were not in the book that I had. And we're all trained to not ever question anything, you know. And I would say that we as humans should get back in touch with that. Not because we want to be better than everyone else and we want to blah, blah, but no, because it's supposed to be an experience. Why would you only want half of the experience? I don't know. It's like, what's in the junk DNA? I don't know. I remember sitting in clinical rotation, like in nursing school, and my teacher was like, "Hey, oh, who likes psych?" And I was like, "Yeah, I do. I want to be a psych nurse." And she was like, "Okay, that's great. We need psych nurses. A lot of people don't want to go in psych." And I was like, "Yeah, I know." And there was another girl who said she wanted to do psych nursing, and I was like, okay, great. We want to be the psych nurses. So it comes up to a question on the, the roster or whatever where we're going through these NCLEX questions, and she's like, well, who do you like better, Piaget or Freud, or I can't fucking pronounce his name, Freudian ideology or Marxism? Who do you side with on? I was like, or Darwinism, or and I was like, listen, I wanted to do psych because those people would be called junk, the junk DNA of humanity. Like, we'd say they think differently, they hear things, they see connections that we may not see. Of course, some can be delusions, but I mean, a lot of the times they're not really crazy. And I hate the fact that we put them in this box and we drug them up and they just regurgitate what they're expected to say to us. And that's how they know how to get out. And it's like, you're not treating any of the problems and you're not even figuring out what's really wrong with them. There may not even be anything wrong with them. I mean, now with this whole awakening thing, too, it's a lot of people dealing with their own inner demons and things that we all have that we will say that we don't have. And it could be having experiences that we're not having, and because we're not having them, we just want to write everything off like, oh, it's just bullshit. They're just grand delusional. It's a grandiose it's fucking huge elaborate delusion, which it could be. See, I won't sit there and say that every crazy person is not crazy. It's just sometimes the words fall short of what they're actually trying to express. And I think that's really what it is. If somebody hits a dark spot in their own internal maze of themselves, we need a way to express that. And without having that expression or outlet, it can build up and deteriorate and fester like a fucking sore and we won't know exactly what that person's going through. Like I said, I love people. I just can't be around groups of them. I just can't. Now, because humanity as a whole, myself included in that, we do this group thing. And it's like, we get in these groups and we want to be agreeable. We want to be liked. We don't want to be freaking antisocial. We don't want to have a social whatever disorder. We don't want to have that stigma. So we kind of go with the flow to avoid confrontation. And it's the easy way. I mean, it's with a group, you're more likely, I'm sure everybody's been in one of those freaking situations, like peer pressure. And it's like, oh, I know that this is not right, but everybody else is jumping the fence and I should probably not do it. There's the police sirens or something. But anyway, I probably shouldn't jump the fence, but everyone my friends are doing. If I don't do it, I'm gonna be the weird one, and I'm gonna be called the freaking square. We all like compromise our own stuff, what we would normally never ever do when we're in a group. And I'm not saying everybody does it all the time, but I'll either do that I'll go the I'll go the opposite way and I'll be completely like, oh, I can't stand this and whatever. Neither of which is me. So it's like easier for me to deal with people on a one-on-one basis because that's really when you're going to get to know somebody. Because in a group, we always do this front thing where we have this one face that we show to people. We show it to our friends, and then we have this other face when we go to a party. We're this person, and then we have this other face that we don't ever show anybody, and it's just hidden in our pockets. And it's like, oh no, if anybody ever knew that I thought this or did this and whatever, I'm supposed to be the nice one. I should never get mad. I should never have a negative thought. This whole positive vibes only shit is just crazy. Of course, I've got positive vibes now. I mean, people will probably be like, "Oh, she's so negative." If you look at if I look back on my videos, and I'm like, God, I sound really like fucking ugh. You know, I'm actually in a great mood tonight, so I figured I'd do a video, and I put flowers in my hair just cause. But I'm in one of those peace and whatever moods. But no, I really do like people. But I just hate the fucking games that we play. And then it's really funny because we don't really know that we're playing these games with each other. And I just hate that. You know. I wanted to get into psychiatry because they're the underdogs of society. Nobody expects anything from them. Nobody expects them to be anything. But a lot of this music that we listen to and the passion and the pain and the sorrow and all the stuff that we love to watch on TV and all of these emotion filled expressions come from that part of us that we would lock up in this freaking mental institute and say, ooh, that's the part that doesn't fit in society standards. But that's the creativity. That's the blessing. And it could be a curse. I mean, if you have no way to outlet that and to express it, oh my God, I'm at 12 minutes. If you have no way to outlet it and express it, then it'll probably drive you insane. We all, but that's the funny thing too, is with this self reflection, you've got to have some kind of support. And at least that one friend who you can call and be weird with, and they're not going to judge you for being silly and emotional. I don't know. We've labeled off emotions as being so bad. Your emotions shouldn't control you, but you've got to feel them fucking things, and that's what makes us human. The fact that we've focused on getting rid of them and getting lost in them. Yeah, it's a ride. Dive in. It's an ocean of emotions. Enjoy it. Let the current toss you back and forth. Go a little crazy. Crazy. That's what it's supposed to be. Life is messy. I don't know. Like I said, I don't really know what I was going to talk about on this long ramble, but this self reflection thing. Find your curiosity. What interests you? And how do you express it? I'm a talker. And I didn't know that until like doing this. I most of the time I'll get drowned in my own thoughts of this and that and this and that. If I don't force myself to find the words, I can't ever really get contact with what I'm actually feeling. Just why I write, talk, whatever. It's the only way you're gonna get to know yourself. What's funny is that a lot of people will be like, "Oh, she's so antisocial. She doesn't talk to anybody, and she's not." No, I could go out and be the life of the party. Yeah, but guess what? It would be an act, and I've done that. I've been the life of the party. I've been the introvert. I've been whatever the outcast. But the funny thing is like anybody who really knows me knows that none of that's really me. I have my days. We all do. It's part of being human. I don't know. this whole enlightenment thing has been in making us into thinking that we are gods. Of course, we have access to some higher source within ourselves, within yourself, within, everyone has this connection to source. But like with our little thinking of what I want, this false I, this false version of me, and what I think I need, and we're gonna fuck it all up. We can't see. We're not capable of comprehending the bigger picture. Because think about it. Everything we've ever been taught to believe has been limited. How can you possibly make any kind of right judgment with only seeing this much of the picture? I don't know. Y'all have a great night. Enjoy your Saturday. I hope everybody had a happy Cinco de Mayo. Cinco de Mayo. Lots of mayonnaise. Forget it. I'm just crazy. In a good way. Who the hell wants to be sane and normal? Normal. I'm gonna go write a little bit, maybe draw. Who knows? Y'all be well. And be blessed.